Hello everyone, welcome to EPCC Tejano News. My name is Martin Junio and today I'm reporting along with
Maria Ramirez. Welcome to this special edition at EPCC Tejano News. EPCC is proud to be the first college to host the Shadow Dreams, an event that has been done only at the high school level for the past 12 years. Today we are welcoming some special guests to tell us more about it.
our first guest is Marleb Gonzalez. She's the Valle Verde Campus Life representative and she's going to give us some background information on how this project made its way to EPCC. Hi Marleb, can you tell us more about the Shadow Dreams event?
Sure. So Shattered Dreams is an alcohol awareness event, and it's designed to educate and bring awareness of the dangers of drinking and driving. It's based on a mock crash followed by a mock trial. So we have students playing out the roles of the victims, of the individual that dies on the scene, of the individual who was drinking and driving. Then the following day, we have a mock trial, which, the DWI student has to, is being tried for what he did. And it's all played in front of a student body.
Wow, that's very interesting. Shattered Dreams is a program to bring awareness to our community.
That's right, Maria. Marleb, we know that this event took months of planning and teamwork. What clubs or departments from EPCC were part of this event?
Yes, it did take a lot of time, a lot of dedication and collaboration. It involved El Paso Community College, UMC, and a strong coalition.
Wow, that sounds great. It sounds like EPCC is not only the best place to start, but it's also where people know how to work together.
Yes, Maria, it's great to hear that. Okay, Marleb, this is our last question for you. What motivated you to bring Shattered Dreams to a college environment?
The first time we heard about Shattered Dreams, at the Department of Student Leadership and Campus Life, we're always trying to do events that educate our students, and we always have at least 2 events that are alcohol-related, to bring alcohol awareness to our students. So when we heard about Shattered Dreams, we just thought it'd be the perfect program to bring here to El Paso Community College, since it had never been done before at a college level. It's always been done at a high school level, as you said earlier. So we knew it was going to be a lot of work and it was going to take a lot of efforts and collaborations, but we knew it was going to be something that was going to educate our students, because a lot of the times we don't realize the consequences, especially students and adults, of the dangers in drinking and driving until they actually happen. And so this program is designed to give you insight as to what goes on, what is the aftermath of the consequences of those that actually drink and drive and go and hit someone and go and kill someone. So, we thought this would be perfect to bring here to El Paso Community College.
Thank you, Marley, and it was great having you with us here. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Now we have Captain Joseph Barragan of the EPCC Police Department joining us. Welcome, Officer Barragan.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you for having me here, Maria. Don't worry.
We know you're an experienced officer. Do you feel the mutilation was a good representation of reality?
A lot of plans have gone into, as far as the details, as far as the accident, as far as the to make everything as realistic as possible, even down to the injuries. As far as if you notice the injuries, they had like the brain matter and the broken bones, and we even bring vehicles that are actually involved in a crash. So everything from the police report to the accident to the vehicles, everything involves as far as making it as realistic as possible. So yes, I do believe the simulation was very accurate.
Can you tell us how many different law enforcement agencies were involved in the roles of these Shadow Dreams, please?
It's not just law enforcement that's involved. We also have the I want to say first responders, because just the mock crash, we have, of course, the El Paso Community College Police Department that responded. We had the El Paso Police Department, their traffic units responded to motorcycles. We had the Sheriff's Department Special Traffic Investigations respond. We also had, of course, the firemen, and then EMS, and we even had air methods, the helicopter that landed, so to transport one of the victims to the hospital. In addition to that, we had several officers involved with the crowd control and, just the perimeter, making sure we're not letting people inside to the accident site and everything. So we even had Homeland Security come down with their command post, just so we can take a break there and everything. So we had several law enforcement agencies involved. As far as the different roles, the first responders, of course, respond to the accident, and the fire department shows up, the ambulance shows up, and they take the victims to the hospital or by the helicopter. Then we have the crime scene investigators, which is special traffic investigations, comes and they do their actual investigation. We even had an officer do the SFST, the standard field sobriety test, to show that the driver was intoxicated, and they also went through that. And then we also had probably one of the most crucial parts is making notifications. We actually had to send officers to the homes of the victims, the ones that had passed away, the ones that had died at the scene or at the hospital, to go to their homes and tell them that they had passed away. So we even have officers doing that part.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
The only thing I want to add is that, the message has to be sent as far as the effects of drinking and driving. This is a excellent program where we're trying to encourage people not to drink and drive. And I think it's a good start, but I think the message has to continue as far as being proactive, as the youth or even adults, that you have to take care of each other. You have to make sure that you see someone drinking and driving, or even before, just keep them from driving and help them out. So we all have to do this together, or else, you've seen the effects of someone dying and the tragic consequences that happen. Like, in other words, the purpose of the whole thing is shattered dreams. How many shattered dreams are affected because of someone drinking and driving? And we just need to read the news to find out how it impacts, how it impacts society, how it impacts individuals, families, law enforcement, and all that. So I do want to take an opportunity to read. The director of the Gateway to College program had her students write letters about this whole program, and so I just want to read one of those letters, if I may. So, oh, no, this is not it. So sorry, but actually all the students wrote. This is from the Gateway to College, so I wanted to read just one of the students because I think this kind of tells you the whole purpose of what they saw and how, from a student's perspective. So. And I won't mention the student, but today's presentation made a huge impact on me. I don't drink, but after today, much less do I want to start now. It's sad when people don't think of their consequences and how they impact other people's lives. I really wish more people would be here today to see how one stupid, ignorant decision can change lives forever. It's also sad to know that innocent people die without having one more chance to say goodbye. I really hope a lot of my classmates think before they act, as well as spread the word. I know I surely will. So.
Thank you for sharing this to us. It was a really great pleasure interviewing you on our show. And
thank you for having me.
Our next guest, Gloria Salazar from University Medical Center, one of our partners in planning Shattered Dreams.
Welcome, Gloria. We're glad to have you here at the EPCC Tejano News. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you.
Our first question for you this afternoon is, how many Shattered Dreams events have you participated, and how many how different is it for you to be in Shattered Dreams?
I've been coordinating Shattered Dreams since 1998, 99, and I've done maybe 20 to 21 Shattered Dreams. I'm not the only person. It takes a team effort, so it's multiple agencies. This is the first one in a college setting, but it's also the first one that I have seen that they put so much effort. Not only the work, but they love to do it. And I've never seen that before, so that's new to me.
Okay. And how has Shattered Dream impacted you, for the community and to yourself?
I think it's one of the major prevention programs that we do at University Medical Center. we're mandated to be at level 1 to do community programs, and this is one of the major ones. It's a lot of work. I've been attending the meetings plus doing work at the hospital and in the community, but it's worth it. I think that the outcome is going to be good. If we save 1 life, 2 lives out of the many students, 30, 40 students that participated, that's our reward. The nurses and the doctors, when I tell them we're going to have a Shattered Dreams again, they say, do we have to? Because we pronounce 1 dead and there's 1 dead at the scene. They bring the parents over, and then the doctors have to tell the parents, well, after resuscitation efforts, they were pronounced dead. And everybody cries. The doctors cry, the nurses cry, so it's hard, even though it's a mock, but it's very hard for us.
Our next question is, what is it like to take care of a patient in trauma level 1 or 2? How do you handle it?
I guess we focus on saving lives, not in the injuries, not if it's a male, a female, a child, or an adult. It's just save the life of that person. Sometimes the outcome might not be as good because they might be paralyzed. For example, in this mock, one of the twins was paralyzed and the other one died. Sometimes the outcome is not up to us. They might be in a coma for the rest of their life. They might be paralyzed. But either way, to us, it's a reward that we save a life. The outcome is not our decision, I guess. It might be God.
Gloria, well, thank you for being here with us. Do you want to say anything to our viewers?
I just want to say to be safe in our community. It comes from us, from all of us. We all have families and children, and we should be safe. Wear your seatbelt, no texting, no drinking, no driving. And you've heard that before, but I still want to say that.
Thank you, Gloria, for your wise words.
Thank you.
In this segment, we are pleased to welcome our actors, Rebecca and Rocio. Welcome, everyone. Okay, Rebecca, how did you feel about portraying your character on this Shattered Dreams?
Well, it was a little challenging at the beginning because I had to be a screamer. I had to be my director wanted me to be over the top and really, portray it like if it was real because everything looked real, the blood on my sister, my friend on the floor, and real emotions do come up. So it was tough because of the screaming part. My director even had me practice in her office. So I think I scared a couple people in school. But other than that, it was just very surreal. It was a lot of thinking that I had to do because, being put in that situation, you're kind of forced to think, what if that really did happen to my sister and to my friend? So I had to have lived with the fact that I would have been paralyzed from the waist down and that I just lost my other half, my twin sister. So, and my friend Persephone. So it was a challenge, but it was a lot of learning. So.
How did you prepare for this role?
Like I said, my teacher, my director, Miss Jones, she's awesome because if it hadn't been for that, it would have been a little more difficult because she literally took me to her office and she told me, "Are you ready to scream?" And I told her, "I don't know, I'm nervous, it's weird, it's just randomly screaming." So she I was in her office and then she was like, "Okay, scream." So then I couldn't do it and she screamed and she scared me. So then she said, "That's how you want you to scream." And I tried, but nothing would come out. And then so we tried a bunch of different things. It took me 20 minutes. But then when I finally did it, it really helped ease being so nervous about, screaming and everything. And she told me she wanted to be very, very exaggerated. So hopefully I did a good job.
And this question is for you both. Has this changed any part of your life, in any kind of way?
I think it's changed my life in the biggest way imaginable because we got to go through something that most people don't. When you go through that, like what I went through, I died in the hospital. So nobody that's gone through that can actually come back, I got to go through everything. I got the easy part. I didn't have to scream. I just had to lay there. I just had to lay there and them drag me out into the helicopter and take me to the hospital and go through every single step that actually would have happened in that case. But going through all of that made me realize, this could have actually happened to me. And that phrase that people say, life is too short, and everybody thinks they know what it means and everybody thinks they can really understand it. But this made me realize that I didn't. And now I do, how how important it is to treasure the people you love, to not be mad, to enjoy life, to not procrastinate, to do everything that you want to do, and to be smart about things that you do. So it was big for me because, I mean, me and my sister have never drank, and that's really hard to believe. Most people wouldn't believe us, but we really have never drank, and even if I ever did, I would never drink and drive. So that doesn't really apply to me, but if I were to be distracted with my phone, which I used to, but I don't do that anymore, but just being distracted for a second from the road can change your life like this in an instant. So doing everything and having it be so real was so impactful for me because it can change your life. That can change your life. With her, she would be paralyzed. So even picking something up would be difficult, you know? So for me, it changed so much because I thought, wow, I can really be gone in a second. And it could have been my fault or couldn't have been my fault, which is even worse. So for me, this whole experience was completely eye-opening and beyond description. So.
Thank you. And what was your experience? Did it change anything?
It really made me value the people that I have because, you know, something as simple as an I love you, you know, not that many times you say it to your loved ones when you should because you think that you have time. You think that, well, I'll be right back. And so many people say, oh, I'm just going to the store down the street. And they do, but they never come back. So it really made me think about the people that I have in my life and to be grateful for it and to realize that life, like she said, is really short and it's gone in the blink of an eye. You know, it's hard to believe that we're already 20. You know, it seems like things have gone by really fast. So this entire experience, I'm really humbled and honored to be a part of this, to be chosen for this because, you know, not that many people get to go through that and, like she said, come back from it. So it was just a humbling experience and it was very eye-opening.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Oh, thank you for inviting us.
In this segment, we are pleased to welcome the actors of Shattered Dreams, Persephone and William. I have a question for you, William. How did it feel like to portray your character for this Shattered Dreams?
Well, I mean, it was a lot to take in because I had to kind of play that part, you know, and it I mean, through the accident, it was like wow, like this all happened because I made a wrong decision, and they took me through the whole process took me to the county, and you know that was kind of scary too, and then the court, that was like wow, like this can just change your life, you know, like in an instant.
What was your reaction, your emotion, your feeling going to the jail?
To the jail, I mean, I had to remember, well, because some of the officers didn't know, you know, so they were treating me like I really was an inmate, and it's definitely not somewhere that you want to be.
Did this somehow like change your life?
I mean, it made me more, I guess, appreciative of life. Kind of makes me want to help people, you know, or people that might be around people who drink or who might put themselves in danger or something like that. It kind of makes me want to like help them out.
This question is for you, Persephone. What was it like laying on the floor for 2 hours?
Sore. It was really, really cold. I was sore by the end of it. It was really difficult to not move, to not look at everything that was happening, to not react. there was a moment where this woman came out, we call her the Screamer. She came out and she was pretending to be my mother, and it was really hard to not react when she started screaming my name and screaming for me to wake up and to move. I wanted to wake up and just run to her, because in my head I thought, I knew it was fake, but in my head I thought, what if is that my mother? What if that is my mother? What if this is actually real? And I just wanted to jump up and run over there and be like, Mom, I'm okay. It's fake. It's totally fine. I'm all right. Stop crying. And so that was one of the things that affected me most, next to Rebecca screaming. I also wanted to jump up at that moment when she started screaming, because it was very, very real.
And what did you do to prepare for this role?
Nothing really. At first I was really, really excited to do it. I was really honored that I was chosen to participate, to play such a main role in the project. I didn't really do anything while I was laying there. I just focused on my breathing and keeping it very controlled, keeping my emotions controlled.
This question's for both of you guys. Has this touched your lives in any other way? Persephone?
I definitely say that it has. We had this student retreat where we got to go back and talk about what happened. We got to talk to actual victims of drunk driving incidents, or the survivors and victims of drunk driving incidents, and it was very emotional. That day was just full of raw emotion from everyone. We got to write goodbye letters to our family members that we chose. We got to read our goodbye letters from our family members, and it was just very, very emotional. People like to joke about death, people like to be narcissistic about it, but when you really get down to it, it makes you realize that it's really scary. It's really terrifying. And it makes, at least for me, it made me want to actually do all the things that I said I wanted to do. It made me want to tell the people that I love them, and not fight with them as much, and not take them for granted, and actually go see them. So that's how it impacted me.
William?
For me, it kind of made me appreciate, like she said, appreciate life a little more, because it's something that we don't really think about every day, but when it's right in front of you, when you're seeing it, when you're hearing people's stories and how it affects them, their families, and it just gets very, very real.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We are closing today's program with Advis Jones, EPCC Director of Student Leadership Campus Life. Welcome, Advis.
Thank you for having me.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask you, why do you want to bring this event to EPCC?
I think it's extremely important for us to educate our student population on the challenges that we have when we have someone that drinks and drives, or rides with someone that's slightly intoxicated. I think it's extremely important that our students know not to do those things. And by bringing Shattered Dreams here to El Paso Community College, it allowed for a realistic viewing for our students to be able to observe.
What are some of the things that you did different, or that separates your event from previous Shattered Dreams?
Previously, Shattered Dreams have only been held on high school campuses. So this is the first time it's ever been held on a college campus, and from my understanding, nationwide. So El Paso Community College, of course, is the first place to do that, so it's an honor for us. But I think the major difference for us as opposed to the high school is that we wanted to also have all of our students involved in the processes of developing the program. And so our students had an opportunity to be in each one of the areas. So in the main 4 characters, for example, we had a trauma level 1 and trauma level 2, and they were all taken to the University Medical Center. We had an opportunity to have nursing students in the room with them and to observe what was going on and to participate in trying to save the lives of those individuals. We just did a trial today, for the DWI victim, and we had our criminal justice students and our paralegal students involved in that process. So the opportunity for our students to have an active role in the Shattered Dreams production was also what I wanted to do. And that's the main difference between high school and us.
Another question, what was one of your biggest challenge to putting this event all together?
The biggest challenge when you're in a high school environment, there's a captive audience. The principal tells all the students to go, and they all go. At El Paso Community College, we have to encourage our students to go. It's not mandatory, and we can't make them attend. And so that was one of the biggest challenges that we had. But fortunately, we had a great attendance. And so we had the early college high schools out there as well, and then we had students from our regular classes attend. So that was the biggest challenge, but the audience turned out to be a really good audience, so that worked out quite well.
Last question. How do you think the people that were involved in the Shatter Stream project will change?
I've already seen changes. I've seen changes from those who are involved in the program and those who observe the program, and even from staff here at the college. I had an employee that told me, I'm not going to drink and drive anymore. And she witnessed the accident that we had. I've also had students already saying that they too are not going to drink and drive, and if they do, they're going to be responsible, individuals, have designated drivers and things like that. So hopefully this entire program was just brought a conscious awareness to all of our students, and not just the students, but also staff and faculty, so that they'll be responsible drinkers. And they see the consequences of what can happen when someone drinks and drives.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jones.
Thank you.
That is our show for today. We appreciate all the people who sat down with us to discuss Shattered Dreams. And we are glad the opportunity we had to highlight the work that they did to bring this important project to El Paso Community College. I'm Maria Ramirez.
And I'm Martin Junio. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time at EPCC Tejano News.